Hello, so it's been a long time. I am currently getting ready to do a 24-hour readathon, which is a lot different than the last time I did this, but I kind of like it a little bit better, but I'll go into more details in that in a second. I am currently getting ready to do that. So some updates. I know things are a little bit different around here. Last time I uploaded a video was 3 years ago. So since then, I went through a breakup. I moved out of my grandparents' house and I live with 3 other people now. One of them is now my boyfriend. So this is my room technically, and then we share the master bedroom. I got a new job. I no longer work at the tea room. I now work at a flower shop. So there's that. I also have y'all in front of my window, so if y'all see the lighting change, that's why. As you hear scratching, that is a cat trying to get in. There's 4 of us, so we have 4 cats. One of them is mine, one of them is my boyfriend, his name is Jose, and then I have another roommate who has a cat, and then Jose and him actually share another cat. There's another girl here too, so I now live in a different house, in a different place. So that's fun. Things are a lot different now. I have more bills to pay than last time. So I decided that I started wanting to do videos again kind of at the beginning of the year, but I never actually did it because I wasn't sure. But I have been on BookTube watching new videos a lot more recently, just to see kind of what has changed. I don't think a lot has changed, but there are some things where I'm like, oh, okay. And then preparing for this video, I also watched a lot of my older videos, and a lot of times I am just like, girl, what are you doing? There are definitely some times where I think I could have edited differently. I could have slowed down. I know that's a lot kind of what critiques I gave for myself. For this new year, I decided I kind of want to get back into BookTube. I am mostly on TikTok nowadays. I haven't really been doing my Bookstagram either, so that's kind of another thing what I kind of want to get it back into. I have still posted occasionally, but again, it's like months apart. So I haven't decided really much on that yet, how deep I want to get back into it, but I was like, if I want to go back into BookTube, I kind of want to do like all 3 things, or at least do BookTube a little bit, and then TikTok's a little bit easier nowadays because they're shorter and a lot easier, and half the time you don't have to talk in it, which I think was a lot of times my problem with BookTube is the talking part and trying to figure out what to say. And I think for this time around, it's definitely going to be one of those things where I was focusing too hard on things to say. I didn't think I gave myself enough time to breathe in between words where I was messing up and when I finally got it right. So in my editing, I couldn't cut out enough that should have been cut out. That is definitely one of the things where I kind of have an idea of what I want to do with certain videos. Now, I am basically getting ready, mostly because I'm going to do my January wrap up next. So I figured I would just document this part. Pretty much that is like the update part for everything that has happened in between this video, and I think last time I was on here was during Bookmas of like 2021. Which was I think the last video I ever uploaded was either my December wrap up or my some TBR or something. I'm not even sure. Ozzy. Come on. And of course the most needy one is the one that was scratching at the door. So for this readathon, no one's home at the moment, so I thought that would be like a good time to do this. I do have to go get groceries picked up because I did that earlier and they had some time today. I was going to do it for tomorrow, but they had HEB had a opening today, so I took it for 3:30. So I was going to listen to a book while I got ready, but I figured I would do this instead. Just so that way for the January wrap-up video, which is going to go up before this one, I can just focus on that wrap-up and then be like, hey, watch out for the next video for all the updates. So I think that's a little bit easier, and that way I can just focus on one thing for that one. This one will eventually be more of a vlog style. If you see like the lighting change or something, I am using my main camera right now, but I will switch to my vlog camera. Oh, someone else is trying to get in. Everyone trying to get in. Every time that is closed, they don't want to do anything, and then once the door's closed, they're like, oh, let me in. So for the sake of this video, I thought it would be a good time to do this because my boyfriend is working today. And I don't get very many weekends off, which I did work this morning, but I didn't have a setup because we do a lot of weddings. So I thought, you know what, might as well try this. So from what I've been like updating myself on, there is now a timer system for the 24-hour readathons instead of just, you know, staying up for 24 hours, which I know I never actually did stay up the whole time. I think I tried a couple of times, and I think it's always around like 5 or so is when I get tired, or I would start too early or I would start too late, and there'd just be a lot of sleep eventually. I know I might end up taking I might end up taking a nap eventually today. I don't know. I tell myself that every Saturday, and half the time, you know, it doesn't work out that way. So I'm going to go into the TBR after I am finished getting ready. I have a couple of books that I am reading right now all at once. Just because in January I knew exactly what I wanted to read. Now I'm kind of not sure because I am currently going through all the Stephen King books in publication order. I did read Misery already because I kind of was like too excited for that one, so I went a little bit out of order, which kind of is what I'm doing a little bit. If I'm like too excited to read a book, I'm just going to go ahead and read it instead of waiting, which I think the next one I want to read is like 12, whatever or the 11, something, whichever one is the Assassination of JFK book, which is huge from what I've seen, but I don't own that one, so that would be like a library book. I am now currently reading The Shining, which I am trying to get done because I have one of the Bachman books on hold at the library. It's not ready yet, but I'm trying to finish at least The Shining before I read that one, which I know has rage in it. I believe it has rage in it. From the description that is on the library, it is one of the copies that actually does have it in there. So I want to finish The Shining before I go on to that one. But I ran out of listing hours, which I did not know you could do with Spotify because they have audiobooks now, and that's where I was listening to it, and now I have nowhere else to listen to it. So the only book that I think I only have one audiobook technically on my TBR that I'm listening to right now. So I'm gonna go finish getting ready, and then we're gonna go over the TBR. So here is my TBR for this readathon. Now this is not necessarily, I don't necessarily have to stick to this TBR, but this is kind of just what I've been feeling on reading right now, and I already have these picked up beforehand. So at first is The Shining. I am currently on page 234, and there's like 500 or so pages on here. I think I can get this done, or at least a pretty big chunk done, because I read Carrie in like 2 days, I read Salem's Lot in like 3, and then I think Misery I also read in like 3 days, so I think I can get a pretty big chunk done, if not hopefully the whole thing. The next one that I'm going to be listening to probably in the car when I go get groceries, because I know for sure I have that one, is Begin Again. And this is also a library book. I have 3 library books in here that I kind of want to get finished just so I can return them. I'm currently liking this book. It is easy to get through, so I think this is like another one I can probably get through. I also have The Hacienda. I got this at Target one day. I have read the first chapter, which I think is only like a few pages. Yeah, it's only like 4 pages. So I'm not sure really if this is, I'm gonna get to this one, but I have it if I decide I want to read it. The next library book that I have also only read the first chapter is The No-Show. I've heard some mixed things about this, and I kind of I like the idea of it. It took me not very long to get the first chapter, but I haven't really read it much since then, and it seems like that one was like a really short chapter, but they seem to be getting longer, so we'll see about this one. This one's also another library book that I wanted to get through. And then the last library book I have is Night Film. I read a little bit of this, but I only had the ebook, and I decided I wanted to do like the physical book just because it's about a like murder mystery, and it has like cool things like this in it, so I thought it'd be cool to have it actually in book form. So I kind of want to get this done just so that I can, when I go to work, the library is near and I can return this on Monday. Other 2 ones are different libraries, and that one's like a little bit farther. So, and then I'm not really too worried about these because half the time I only go there on Saturday. So as long as I have these 2 done by next Saturday, I think they'll be fine. And the last book that I have that I got at Goodwill for only $3, and I have been wanting to read it, is A Flicker in the Dark. Now I have noticed that I have a lot of darker books in this TBR, and it is February, so I might end up reading something else, maybe a little bit more romantic or just kind of having a different vibe to it, but we'll see. So I don't have an iPhone like everyone else. I have an Android, but the timer, you know, works the same. So I'm not sure if I want to start this now. I have an hour before I have to leave to go get groceries. So I think for right now is I'm going to probably go with The Shining, and let's just start. So let's just start. So I got to the hour mark while I was going to get groceries. So I was listening to Begin Again, and I got through 1 chapter, and now I'm on another one. I currently have to now put up all of our groceries, so I am going to listen to that while I do that and clean up the kitchen a little bit, and then probably film my January wrap-up. So we are on chapter 12, and we are actually almost done with chapter 12. So we just hit the 2-hour mark. I started Begin Again at I started Begin Again at chapter 11. We are now on chapter 15. So I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna eat my tacos that I made, just because it's hard for me to like listen to an audiobook or read while I'm eating. So I'm gonna watch Guys Grocery Games while I eat this, and then I'm not sure if I'm gonna get back into Begin Again and like try and finish the book, because it is actually getting really interesting, or if I want to do something else. I did realize I have a novella, one of the Shatter Me novellas that I haven't read yet that I could read, or at least read one of them, because there's usually 2 stories in the book. So we'll see. I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to actually read The Shining again too, or if I'm just going to just try and stick with 1 book. I haven't decided yet, but we will decide that after I'm done eating for sure. So I think I decided that I want to try and finish Begin Again, which the book is being propped up on right now. I know I need to edit the video I just recorded, which was the January wrap up. I might, if I end up getting that done tonight, I might go ahead and upload it. I'm not sure, or I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. But I don't want to take my makeup off. I don't need to wash my hair until tomorrow or possibly Monday. But I kind of just want to just take a shower and wash my face. Because I feel like that would be beneficial to me. So I think I'm going to do that. And then while I'm in the shower, I'm just going to listen to the book. We hit 3 hours. I am currently on The Shining. So I got to chapter 19 and begin again, but the next chapter is like 47 minutes long. So I was like, okay, time for a break from this one. And then the last like 10 or so minutes, I got through 2 chapters of The Shining. So now I'm on chapter 23, which is page 300 basically. So I'm getting pretty far in that. It's starting to get the time where normally like on Saturdays I get sleepy, which now it's 7 o'clock. I have some coffee left over from yesterday that is warm, so I'm gonna go pour myself a cup, and I think I'm gonna work on my January wrap-up video for a little bit, maybe about like 15-20 minutes maybe. I think I could probably like get it at least start rendering, just in case. So I'm gonna go make some coffee, and hopefully it can wake me up a little bit. I think I'm going to keep going with The Shining for now, and then I might get back into Begin again. I think for right now I'm just gonna focus on these 2 books, and then if I finish one, which I feel like I can, and then I'll go figure out next books. Either I'm going to pick what I already have for the TBR, or I've been on TikTok a little bit and I kind of want to read something else, so we'll just have to see what happens. Okay, so that was a whole ordeal. The coffee didn't taste good. I tried to make espresso, but we haven't used it in a while, so that was disgusting. So caffeine, Dr. Pepper it is. I also made myself another taco, so now I'm a little frustrated. So I'm just gonna edit and see where I go from there. So it is now 8:13. I have had a little bit of rest. My video is rendering right now for my wrap up, so I got that done out of the way. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep reading The Shining. We have now only read for 3 hours, so I don't know how well this is gonna go, but we're just gonna keep on going. I have noticed that some 24-hour readathons has gone like 2 days to 3 days, which I'm trying not to do. I'm trying to do this like at least until tomorrow, because once Monday hits and I go back to work, everything's out the window. So let's just keep on going and see how much I can read until I like pass out. So we just hit 5 hours and I totally forgot how hard this is to do, because I am so tired. It is now 10:30 and my boyfriend should be home soon from his event, so I am almost done with this part of the book. So I'm on page 442 and I'm about to be on part 5. So I'm kind of just wanting to finish that and see where it goes from there. I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep reading, but I'm getting very tired. So good morning. I ended up only reading, like after I signed off last night, so I only ended up reading like 5 hours yesterday. I was out once I went to sleep. Like I was gone and I woke up this morning. So I did stop on part 5, which I think is the last part in this book. So I am almost done. So I know for sure I'm planning on finishing this one today. So I am about to make breakfast, so I'm going to read while I do that. And at this point, we're just going to see just how much we can read today. And if we don't hit the 24 hours, that's fine. if I can get close, that would be good. And even if I have to go into tomorrow, which I really don't want to, I probably can because Mondays are usually not that busy. Tuesdays are usually like our busiest day. So we'll see. We'll start reading right now and figure out where we're going to go with the rest of the day. Okay, so I didn't want to come back on here until I finished The Shining. So I finished The Shining and I am now at 7 hours and 33 minutes. So it took me about 2.5 hours to finally finish this one. So that means I have now finished all of the Stephen King books that I own. So now we're gonna have to go strictly off ebooks and library books unless I decide I want to actually buy the physical book. It is now 1:30. I have some things to go do, so I'm gonna go do that, and then when I come back I'll figure out what I want to read. I do have an ARC that I just got from NetGalley that I kind of really want to read, but I kind of want to read Begin Again. But then I also kind of want to read Night Film because the next Stephen King book that I'm getting is coming from this library, and by the time that I go pick that up I kind of want to be finished with that. So we're gonna see if I want to this is like a thriller, then I have another thriller that's in the ARC, or if I want to read like a romance, but I haven't decided yet. But I kind of am still wanting to maybe stick with the thriller theme for today. So I am making this outro way out of time because it is now Monday and I started this on Saturday. So I did take a screenshot of how many hours I did just in case it went away. And oh, maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I did. I did it at 5 hours, but I ended up doing 8.5 hours. So not terrible, but definitely not 24 hours. I definitely didn't, I don't think I failed because I don't know where what. I don't think I failed because I did end up finishing one book, so that's cool. I just don't know if 24-hour readathons are for me anymore. We'll see. The next time that I can actually be able to do this will be in the summertime because that's when we are kind of slow at work and I will actually have time to read on weekends and actually like focus for stuff like this. So that's the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.